Good day, everyone. Welcome to this channel and thanks for subscribing. There was a video that was shared online. It went viral, and in that video, it showed Kashim Shettima, who is the running mate of the All Progressives Congress presidential candidate, Bola Ahmed Tinubu. It showed him when he made a statement when he said, to hell with restructuring. That means he is against restructuring. He doesn't support the idea to restructure Nigeria, and instead, what he said, instead of restructuring, let there be a better governance. But then, how can there be a better governance when there is no restructuring in a country that is already destroyed? So Shettima criticizes the idea to restructure. He criticized it, and instead he advocated for education, improvement in the educational sector, creation of employment opportunities, amongst others. But definitely the idea of restructuring doesn't go well with him. Now, the news in full details. To hell with restructuring, Tinubu's running mate Shettima says in viral video. Kashim Shettima, an All Progressives Congress vice presidential candidate, was recently spotted in a widely shared video criticizing restructuring. The video, which as of Friday morning had been shared numerous times on social media, was allegedly shot in 2017. That means it was in 2017 he made this video. It was in 2017 he made this particular statement. Shettima criticizes the call to restructure Nigeria in the video, adding that the country most urgently needs better governance. He compared what was said in Nigeria to what American business mogul Elon Musk's school of thought. Elon Musk is talking about constructing the journey from London to New York in 31 minutes. But unfortunately, the topical issue in Nigeria is restructuring. Restructuring my foot. To hell with restructuring, Shettima says in the video. Let's improve on the quality of governance. Let's invest in education. Let's create jobs. All this madness will evaporate. Shettima, a former governor of Borno State, was unveiled as the running mate of All Progressive Congress presidential candidate Bola Ahmed Tinubu this month. His idea to improve the educational sector in the country, to create more job opportunities, and to make this country a better place is a good thing. But I don't think all these things can work without restructuring, because currently Nigeria is in a bad state, is in jeopardy, and maybe an idea of restructuring should be suggested. Let me explain what the idea of restructuring is. Restructuring is a constitution review strategy aimed at bringing government as closely as possible to the people at the grassroots. That means is a kind of review strategy that aims at bringing the people closer to the government. The whole idea of restructuring is to achieve unity of objective, efficiency, and effectiveness by creating and locating our significant political, economic, social, technological, educational, and legal units as near as possible to the people at the grassroots. Restructuring, however, it does not suggest disintegration. It does not suggest the breaking up of the nation. It does not suggest separation. That's breaking up of the nation. Restructuring would only make it cost efficient and cost effective. What is required is to reframe the legislative list in the 1999 Constitution by transferring at least 60% of the powers of the federal government to state and local government. There are some things the state and local government would do, and if they do it would allow growth growth and development in the particular sectors. Because concerning the issue of insecurity now, it just seems like the federal government is overburdened. They can't do it alone. Then that is when the idea of restructuring comes into place. Let them give the state government and local government power. Let them give them autonomy to make decisions concerning that. Maybe that's going to solve the idea of restructuring instead of just leaving the whole task to the federal government. And when this happens, that will be when the creation of state police would emerge, state security agencies that would protect their region. It does not mean disintegration. It does not mean that the country has divided. It does not mean the country has separated, but it will only allow for growth and development and allow things to be put in a better way instead of just leaving the task to the federal government alone. And restructuring will not only decentralize decision making, it will bring the structures of government close to the people. And that will be when the idea of democracy would come into play. That is when it will be very effective. And democracy will indeed be a government of the people, by the people, and for the people. And some of the restructuring modalities, that's what restructuring entails, will also include the consolidation of the security architecture. That's, they will redefine the security architecture. Because if the current attacks at Owo, if maybe restructuring was something that's very serious in this country, maybe to an extent it wouldn't happen that way. Insecurity wouldn't be a problem like that, because that would be when the state organization, that's the state structure powered by restructuring, they will now come up and take up the responsibility. That the responsibility would be on them instead of the federal government. But that does not mean the country has actually separated. And restructuring is also the easiest route to the attainment of budget goals and monetary policy objectives, such as the attainment of goals of employment. Because the idea of restructuring too would also aid proliferation of employment. Because by the time the federal government is eased from some of their duties and these things are delegated to other groups, are delegated to the state and local governments, then definitely employment opportunities would come out, job vacancies would emerge, and it will also reduce the unemployment rate in Nigeria. It would also proliferate job vacancies, both in the hands of the public and private sector participants. So restructuring is not really a bad idea, and maybe the fears of Shettima might be maybe restructuring would aid regionalization. Well, I don't know about that, but restructuring in this sense is going to allow developments in the regions. It's going to allow more growth and development, and it can also be known as devolution of power. When you devolute power, when you delegate power to other sectors, that's it. And when this happens, let more responsibilities be given to the states, while the federal government is vested with the responsibility to oversee our foreign policy, defense, and economy. That's the areas that demand more attention, like foreign policy, defense, and economy would be left to the federal government, and that they'll be saddled with the responsibility to take care of that. So that's just it. That's what restructuring is all about, and it's not really a bad thing like that. It's only going to allow growth and development. Thank you. Do well to like, subscribe, share, and turn on your notifications for more news updates from us. Thank you.